Thank you, and today's date is Thursday, December 19th, 2024. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report. We're going to talk about the situation with Patrick Mahomes, and then we'll see what other time we have to get to. I have a good amount of recordings for this situation. Here's the situation with Patrick Mahomes. I would not play him. Speaking of me personally, I think more of an analytic side than the coaches and the players think more of a side they should think on. They can afford to lose that game, next week's game. Now, they're going to have to go 2-0. So it puts Andy Reid in probably a must-win situation in the get-it-right business. Now, does that mean he's going to be fired? No. But that means he probably needs to get it right. But that doesn't mean you can't get the number 1 seed and not win and not play all home games at number 1 seed. I mean, you can play the number 2 seed, get a win, and then get a win on 3 versus 2 or whatever, and then that whenever 1 seed can lose, and it's happened a lot before. It's just that number 1 seed is so important. The Chiefs need to win 2 of the next 3 to make the playoffs. 2-1 for the end of the season. Or I would keep playing Carson Wentz until they lose. But they're not listening to me. Let's look at it from the other side. And if you're a player you want to play, and that's how most coaches think. And if he's ready to play, I'm going to get him ready to play. That's how coaches think and players think. And then I think more analytically, and I understand this decision. But you also then don't want him to get hurt. He's paid to make the right decision, so I will believe in Andy Reid. I have no other reason not to. He showed his career as one of the greatest coaches of all time. With that being said, there has been some games where I have felt that we're lucky to get out of there with the Mahomes not being hurt, as the offensive line is still struggling.
What should they do? Here's Marcus Spears' opinion.
Sit him down. Sit him down. Forget being cautious. Sit him down. Look, home field advantage don't mean nothing if he ain't healthy. Patrick Mahomes is going to be the reason that Kansas City wins the Super Bowl if it happens. It ain't nothing else. So as far as that decision that you need to make, and I get it, you might want these home games, all that. If he can't go or is going to be hampered, sit him down until the playoffs.
Come on. Lost your mind. Lost your mind. Are we serious? What sport are we playing right now? Are we not playing, guys? My ankle's sore. I'm not. If Patrick Mahomes says I am good to go, yes, I can go play. You are going to start the best quarterback in NFL history. You're not going to let Carson Wentz go do it. If he can't play, I get it. You don't bench him for precaution. You have a month until you play the play. It would be a ridiculous concept to believe a man will take a month off of professional football, then hit the playoffs and go on the road and play to the level. There is something about playing our game. Just say you're going to sit a guy down for the season. Marcus Spears is selling TV, bro, selling podcasts. He don't believe it, and I dang sure ain't buying. We got Jeff fired up. We got O-line talk earlier. We got us Mark. So, I disagree with Marcus. I don't think you should sit him down. But I don't think it's as absurd as Jeff Saturday is making it seem. If you were on his team, you would.
Completely insane.
This is the scenario that they're thinking, is that he could get worse and then possibly not be able to play in the playoffs. So would you rather have Patrick Mahomes playing, though rusty,
His mind.
Thank you.
If Patrick Mahomes can play on Saturday, then Patrick Mahomes should and probably will play on Saturday. And if he can play next Wednesday, you got to play. This is my back hurts. Should I have not done the show today? Because I could get hurt worse and miss next week's shows.
I mean, no disrespect to you, Dan, but I will say that Patrick Mahomes is a little bit more important to the success of his team than you are to the success of ours.
Maybe a little bit.
Not only that, but his ankle. His ankle is more important.
I showed up to work.
Yeah. Right, so
Patrick Mahomes getting paid to play football.
No, Patrick Mahomes they're going to win the Super Bowl. I think that it's a bad idea. I wouldn't do it. But I'm not going to let you guys. I'm not going to sit up here and let you act like what Marcus is saying is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's a strategy. This is such a greeny comment with it.
Shefty, he's going to play, right, to be clear?
I think he's fully expected to play right now. Listen, he's had 2 straight days of full practices. I know it's light practices, but he's been listed as a full participant. He says it feels better than the last time he suffered a high ankle sprain in the playoffs, and he played through that.
But that was in the playoffs, to be clear. That was during the playoffs.
I got it.
As opposed to having a 2-game cushion for the 1 seed, right?
He's a full participant in practice.
Yeah.
When do we see somebody that is full on 2 straight days not play? It doesn't happen. So he's going to play, and he's going to be out there, and he's going to will himself through this. By the way, let's keep in mind here, it's 3 games in 11 days for the Chiefs. That's a lot of football.
You know what that means? You need a bye. You got to get the 1 seed. And the other thing is, for a team that has had so many close wins, you know what you want in the playoffs? Needing to win 1 less game. So you need to bye. Yeah. And you don't want to go to
so they have to win 2 of their last 3 games in all probability to assure themselves a bye.
You don't want to go to Orchard Park.
Yeah. This isn't a conversation to me. When do we just pull a player off the field when he's fine enough to play? To Shefty's point, if he's practicing, he's not limited. He doesn't have a did not participate. He's going to play in the game. We see guys get banged up every Sunday. The fact that Patrick Mahomes hurt his ankle does not mean he should be shut down and just not play. I just don't understand the notion around that as Harry Douglas.
So you're treating Marcus Spears like Brian Callahan.
Is Harry making?
Absolutely. That is, you can shove that up.
Then Carson Wentz should be able to go in at quarterback and win the football game. That's basically what y'all are telling me, because look who they're going against defensively. The second best team in the NFL sacking a quarterback with 45 right now. And they have a guy by the name of Danielle Hunter who has 12 sacks, which is second in the NFL, and Will Anderson Jr., who has 10.5 sacks, that's 7th in the NFL. What's the deficiency of the Kansas City Chiefs offense?
The offensive line's bad.
Offensive line.
It's beyond bad.
Why would I put Patrick Mahomes in that situation, knowing that those guys have those bad intentions arriving at the quarterback, trying to sack him?
Because he's healthy enough.
And it's the next game on the schedule.
Yeah, I understand
It's
that.
the National Football.
But let's go back to the point I just made.
This dude is a psychopath competitor.
He's different.
He's not going to go, you know what?
Sit me down.
Hey, guys, you guys go play without me. He's not going to do that.
It's not the way he's wired.
I would wrap him in bubble wrap until the playoffs start. I would I would wrap him in bubble wrap until the playoffs start. I would have an air cast with and all that kind of stuff and wrapped around his entire body. All right, we'll come back to
that idea for Mahomes to play this Saturday, 6 days removed from a high ankle sprain. And from being around football all these years, I'm told a high ankle sprain is pretty painful and pretty serious.
I'll let Jeff handle the injury aspect of it, but look at Kansas City for a second. They got to win 2 of their next 3. If you sit him out Saturday, well, what are you going to do on Christmas Day against Pittsburgh? You're not going to play that game. It's only 3 days later. You're not going to play in that game either. And Wentz is not going to win both those games. What Kansas City needs to do is figure out a way to win 2 games, and then they don't have to play against Denver. It won't mean anything.
Nope.
And they can have 2.5 weeks off. So he's got to gut out this game against Houston. Houston is a very spotty team. I think he can figure that out. He's played with these high ankle sprains before. See where he stands with the Pittsburgh game. And, you know, if he gets out of it, okay. But if you're the ultimate scenario for the Chiefs and Andy Reid, somehow win these 2 games in 11 days, and he doesn't have to play another game into middle of January.
Which is unreal.
And that's the situation they have to play. So I think he's going to gut it out, and I think he's going to play.
I think we have all gotten into load management from the NBA, and that's just not how the NFL works. Yeah. And Patrick Mahomes could not have said it better than he spoke when he spoke to the media. Everybody on his football team is pushing their body to the limit. No one is going home feeling great. Their bodies are banged up. They are getting crushed. They're sore. They're icing. They're heated. They're doing everything you could do to keep their. So if he just goes, hey, I'm not up to. If he's going to play. If the dude can play, he is going to play, and that's what every teammate would want from him. If he looks at you and goes, hey, I can't get it done this week. Okay, you're injured. When you're talking about hurt versus injured, it is a major deal in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes knows that. Andy Reid knows that. Every teammate he plays with understands that. This is one of the toughest cats in the NFL. Don't let the position he plays fool you, right? The quarterback, he is a tough dude. He has taken a ton of shots this year, not just on his ankle. He continues to get up, continues to play, that builds respect in his locker room, and everybody is following suit. Everybody wants to win for him.
But Jeff, is that smart? Because I thought a high ankle sprain is pretty serious.
Listen, if he tells you I can play through it, you trust him and go play through it.